In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a tab header that looks just like this one. Okay, when you click on a button, it gives you a different color and the content changes. You click, you have this. Click, you also have this. So we are going to design this together. If you are with me, let's commence. Okay, before I commence, I would want to go ahead and delete this. Bring up, okay, using bracket text editor for this. I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to save this file. I'll save it as tab.htm. Okay, so start coding. First, I'll define my document type. Document type HTML. Okay. Next, I'm going to create the HTML tag. Create the head tag. Okay, so define the meta type. Meta name. Report. So this will give allow your content to fit into any device, taking the shape of that device. Content for width of device. Width. Okay, we'll have initial scale 1. So I'm going to close this here and create my CSS style. CSS style for the body. I'm going to define the body this way. Font family. Font family. This is font family. Create a class for the tab link. So say tab link. Call it tab link. That's the background. The background color. And give it this color. Okay. Color, which is the font color here. White. Flip left. I don't need any border, so the border should be known. The border should be known. Outline, there should be no outline. So outline should also be known. Okay. Cursor type should be pointer. Padding should be 14 by 6, so I'll say 14, 16 for the width and the height respectively. Font size 17 pixel will do. And the width, I'll put it percentage, the width should be 5%. And put here. So next I'm going to create a class for the hover effect. Hover over the button, the color it will give to us. I'm going to create that now. So I'll call the class tab link hover. Tab link hover. Now this. So I'm going to say background. I need the background color to be this background color. So I'm going to style the content of the button or the tab. For the tab content, I'm going to do this. I will give it a class and I'll call it tab content dot tab content. Okay, the color here, that's the font color, white. Color should be white. Display none. Padding should be 50 pixel, and I want the text to be aligned. The text alignment, okay, I'll give it at center. Maybe at center. So now I'm going to create an ID for each of the tab menu. We're using 4 of them. I'm using the About tab, the Services tab, Career tab, and Contact tab. So I'm going to create ID for them. So to do that, I will do this. About. Okay, I need background color. Default background color should be gray. So I can simply at this point copy this, copy it, and create for each of the other tabs. The next I'm going to have is Services tab. Services, I would want the color to be green. Okay, I'm going to paste. The next is going to be Career. I want the color here to be blue. Then lastly, contacts. Okay, for the contact, I want the color to be black. Okay, now we are done with our styling. Close the head at this point, but we need to bring in our HTML content. We need to bring in our HTML content, so I'm going to do this. Put a tag for body. Okay, I'm going to bring in the body now. I'll say I'll create containers for each of the tabs. I'm going to create a container. To do that, I'll simply say D. So I'm defining a container, and the ID. Remember, these are the IDs. Okay, these are the IDs. So the ID I'm calling here is the About. So I will say about, and a class which we have defined above, the class equal to tab content. We have defined this class above. Okay, so I'm going to close this here. Here I would bring in a header, and I would say we teach tech, making it easy for everyone. Okay, and I have this container closed here already. So I'm going to do this for each of the headers, the about, our services, career, and contact. And since I've created for the about, I can now go ahead and copy this. So I can confidently copy this and paste it here. So I'm going to call this, calling the services ID. So services. The class still going to be tab content for all of them. Okay, and for the services, I'm going to change this now. I'm going to change this, and I'll say services offered as web design, graphic design, and programming. Okay, so we are done with services. I can also go ahead and paste here. This will now be changed automatically. I'll change it to career. Class is still tab content. So here I'm going to edit this and say we are not hiring. So I'm done with this container. I'm going to now bring in the last one here. Okay. Call this contact. So I'm going to put in content here for contact. So email MTech Academy 01 at gmail.com. Now this is the contact. So we are done creating various containers for our tabs. So next we are going to bring in the buttons proper. So these are going to be the contacts. Once we click on the button, it brings up these in the tab for us to see. Okay, to bring it up for us to see. So I'm going to now start declaring the buttons. I will say button, the class defined above, which we call tab link. Let's say tab link, and a bit of scripting here. I'll say on click should be equal to. Okay, I'm going to do this, and in here I would say mg tech, we'll have single column. I'll say about. Okay, give a comma, and I'll bring in an element for this, and also for the color for it. Great. Okay, so I'm going to come down here now, and I'll say ID should equal to the default open. Okay, for the about, so I'm going to say about. Okay, so about the element this and the color gray. So the default, when we bring up our browser, by default it should call up the about button and bring up the content in it. Okay, so that's what happens here. So next I'm going to now create the second button, and for this I'll say button class still equal tab link, and click for and check so single column services, elements this, give a space, and calling the color is green, so I'm going to close this here, and in between we have the services coming up. I'll bring this in. Okay, so this is for the about button and this is for the services button, and to replicate this I'll simply copy, that's for other buttons, I'll simply copy this, paste it here, and all I need to do here is to simply change this. I'm going to call this next carrier. Okay, and I also change this area, change the color here is not green, color here is blue. So also paste here, and I'll change this to contact, change this to contacts. So here we are done creating various buttons for the tab. Okay, we have first the about, which is the default button. So by default you should open this, and next we have services, have career, and lastly we have contacts, which I'm also going to change the color here should be black. Okay, so next we are going to bring in our scripting, bring it in JavaScript. Okay, where we're going to create a function. This will allow us to consistently hide and display contents of the tab. So to do that, I will simply integrate the script. Okay, and go ahead and create our function. Call this function name mjtech, and the parameters that we'll be having this function is mj name, have the element. Okay, these are variables though, and the color. So I'm going to bring in curly brackets, So I also declare a variable here, let's see, I So we to have tab content, it's a variable. Then I'll have tab links, also it's a variable. Okay, so tab contents, which I've declared just above, will be equal to document dot get elements by class name. Okay, by class name. This is going to be tab content. The class name here is tab content. Okay, tab content, and I'm going to bring in the loop. I'm going to loop this by saying for I equals 0, I less than the length of the tab content dot length. Okay, increments I plus plus. Okay, I'm going to bring in this. I'll say, so this is an array of tab contents. Say tab contents I dot style dot display, okay, is equal to none. So by this we are hiding the tab content. Okay, at this command we are hiding the tab content. So I'm also going to do same thing for the tab link. I'm going to do for the tab link also. So I will simply come down here. I can decide to also copy this and do some changes. There's going to be same thing, but we are only changing some few elements. So I'll just quickly go down. Let me a bit of typing. Tab links is equal to document dot get elements by class name. By class name. Okay. Tab link. Okay, so I'm also going to loop here. I'll say for I equals to 0, I less than tab links dot length I plus plus. So open up our curly brackets. So I'm working with the background color. So at the instance of this command, the background color should not display. So we're hiding the background color by the effect of this command. So to do that, simply I'll bring in this array. I'll say tab links I dot style dot background color equal to null. So it should be hidden by this command. Okay, so here I'm going to also do a display of background color. I'll simply do this. I'll say document dot get element by ID, element by ID, okay, and the ID here is mg name dot style, okay, dot background color, equal to okay, document. I'm going to say take this back and back when you see. Okay, the style the display where equal to block. They should be block, and the element which I've also declared the style dot background color is equal to color is equal to color. Okay, and we have this here already. So just beneath for the end of the script, we're going to get the element with ID default open, which we have already done for now, and on click it should be open by default, which is the about us. Okay, so to do that now, I'm going to say document dot get element by ID, and ID name is default open, which is on click. So dot click. So on the click command, open up the elements that have the ID default open. So we have closed our script, and the body is also closed. HTML is closed. So I'm going to quickly go through content and see if everything here is okay. Okay. The document declared. Meta type, we have our style for the body, okay, our first class. The second class, we have our IDs here declared. We have our HTML content starting from this point, defining each container, and we have each button is declared here. Okay, and here we commence with our scripting. Okay, to ensure we have our loop in place, and here comes the end. So I'm going to save this file, save all, go to the desktop. Let's open this up and see what we have. Okay, so this is what we have. About, click on services, we have this. Click on career, we have this. Click on contacts, we have this. So we've been able to achieve this following and entering, making sure all our syntaxes are right. So you can go through this. I'm going to drop the link to this, the source of this code. My code, I'm going to drop it somewhere so that you have access to it. So we have our tab created, and this is looking awesome. So you can do this yourself anytime.